now they're too busy painting their cars in rainbow colors. Call me crazy, I miss the days when banks provided banking services. I miss the days when ice cream makers were just that and didn't preach and meddle into politics they don't really understand. I miss the days when doctors would help each one of us choose the absolute best treatment for each one of us, for our children, and not employ our government's wishes and mandates. I miss the days when schools were just about teaching basic school subjects. I miss the days when teachers taught math, English, science, and history, not 132 different pronouns, and didn't feel the need to come out to their young students or detail their sexual exploits in the classroom. I miss the days when the wonderful world of Disney was all about fairy tales and dreams and wholesome joy for both parents and children. Disney's foray into the wonderful world of grooming our children began when the company overstepped and fell into the liberal trap of calling Florida's parental rights bill the Don't Say Gay bill. Again, not what it is nor what it says. And then Disney made it painstakingly clear that not only were they celebrating sexualized content for small children, but they were going out of their way to place that agenda into as much content as possible for kids. Disney is already seeing the painful fruit of its agenda-filled labor. Its stock has plummeted. Its movies are flopping. The company has lost its special privileges in the state of Florida, rightfully so.
My pleasure.
All right, coming up, attacks on our children continue. David Harris Jr. and Erin Elmore join me next on The Balance after this. Not only politically, but sexually, unfortunately. Joining me now to weigh in, host of the David Harris Jr. Show and podcast, David Harris Jr. Also here with us, attorney and Republican strategist Erin Elmore. David, start with you, my friend. This whole Disney thing, they've been outed. This idea that there may be some sort of some grooming going on in Portland, Oregon. Weigh in on what's happened to the fabric of America.
Unfortunately, Eric, this has been something that has been taking place, I believe, for decades. The erosion of the moral fabric of our country, I believe you could trace its steps, its lineage back to separation of church and state, and when they started to take things like the Bible, things that are about absolute truth and morality out of schools.
You signed a 3-year, multi-year, multi-million-dollar deal in the wake of this sliding stock price and this really outrageous outcry of Disney to quit grooming our children.
But clearly they don't want to do that. And I've said time and time again, the days of passive parenting are over. We have to look at what's going on in our schools, our community centers. We have to watch our Disney shows that our children are watching. We have to see what's on their phones and on their iPads, because no longer can we trust any of these places to treat our children like we would, which is with safety and love and protection. They seek to groom and damage our children because it advances their leftist Marxist agenda. And honestly, parents have to start fighting back, whether it's through the legal system, go to the schools and see the school board minutes, see what they're teaching, watch these movies and see what's in them, and then talk about them with your children if they so happen to see them, because no longer do they have our best interest at heart. And by the way, how do you allow pedophiles or people charged with crimes against children to be around those children? There are legal claims, and if I were a parent experiencing that, I would call the police. And I know there are schools across the country that have hired lawyers to say, hey, I know that CRT is in my school, and the schools aren't being honest. So if you're a parent, pay close attention, and if you have to, get a lawyer, because there's no way we're going to stop these people without a really hard fight. Speak up. It's scary, it's hard, but you have to do it.
David, very quickly, I only have about 30 seconds. So look, I don't care. I'm a libertarian. I don't care what you do in your private life as long as you're an adult. It's just when it trickles down to the kids, and we've seen too many stories of these drag shows with kids looking on. It's got to be confusing for them. Final thought, David.
It's 100% confusing, and to have somebody appointed like Rachel, the person that wants to be known as Rachel, that was born Richard with an XY chromosome, that is a man, to come out and say that our children need to be, it's a good health for them to have gender reassignment surgery. It's just, hopefully parents are waking up. It's an all-out attack and assault on our kids, on their innocence.
Erin Elmore, and David Harris Jr. Always great having you both on. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, coming up, the hot take.